I'll tell you this, you know, we were in the room, in the story room, we were trying to figure out anxiety in the third act, and Pete Docter said, and I'll never forget this, he said, what if Joy, who always knows what to do, what if she didn't know what to do? And we all, as I'm a parent of, you know, 2 girls, 3 kids, and we all thought that's it. Like, not knowing what to do is what unlocked that film. It's a weird story, but it felt real to us.
Nós somos as espécies unidas avançadas do universo.
Eu acho que houve um engano.
Você não é o líder de Anterra.
Desculpa a confusão. Iniciar a limpeza de memória.
Não, peraí! Eu sou o líder da Terra.
Por que
Jonas, it's such a huge pleasure to be here with you. It's actually an honor because you're like one of the most important figures behind Pixar's movies. And I just love Up is one of my favorites by far. It's that kind of movie that I know that I will take with me with my family for our entire life. Such a beautiful movie.
It means a lot, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And one thing that gets me a lot about Pixar is that the movies that you are behind working with the crew, with the director, and all the team, all of them have something special, something unique. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know from you, what strikes you when you are creating a new Pixar movie? That one thing that all the great Pixar movies must have.
It's a great question. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say all those things. I feel like the one thing, and it's hard to put your finger on it, it's hard to describe, but we always say, and Pete Docter, the Chief Creative Officer, he does a great job of this, he always says, we are our own audience. So we just think, what do we want to see? And when there's ideas pitched around, when we literally sit down and listen to the ideas like Inside Out or Up, what if there was this old man that flew his house to the falls? I go, why would you? I sat forward and asked questions, and as soon as I do that, as a producer and as an executive, I know there's something there that's worthy. Because we love movies, we love all movies, and if we hear an idea that sparks what we want, then we chase that down. And that's usually what makes it work.
Oh, nice. So you gotta be really curious to know where that story is going, right?
Yeah, we don't sit down and go, we should make a movie like this, or we should make a sequel. We just hear pitches of what people want, and then we respond.
Oh, I just love that. And we don't know much about Elio.
Yeah.
But it's a very intriguing story because it feels like the mankind's future is in his hands. We don't know as of yet, right?
I think what appeals to Elio, first of all, it's like this wish fulfillment. Like when we heard, if you think about Toy Story, you go, well, everybody thought toys were alive when we didn't look, right? So to be able to show that fulfills this wish that we all thought of. When we first started talking about Elio, it was just this idea of a little kid that loves aliens that gets to go to space. And that felt to us, even just that one line felt like that feels movie worthy. Then you go, well, why? And what does he learn? And what happens? All that's the plot, and you have to wait to see all that. But when we peeled that idea back, this idea of belonging and wanting to belong felt sort of universal. It doesn't matter where we go, that feels like there's a common denominator that the audience will respond to. So our job is to weave that together in a movie that surprises you, makes you cry maybe, makes you laugh, and that's where the talented artists that I work with, they are so good at doing that.
And I love that you mentioned the expression wish fulfillment. And I wanted to know, what other personal themes are you guys tackling in Elio?
Oh, good question. The personal themes, well, I would say it's belonging, understanding who you are. That question of, who you are and where you should be. That does seem like a theme that's common in most people, no matter how successful you are, or if you're a little kid on a football team or at school, you want to know what is your place in the world. And I think we're dramatizing that through Elio in an interesting way.
It's so fascinating that you said that because it has a lot to do with my next question. Okay. Pixar movies are always about journeys. When we talk about Up, we're talking about that old man's journey as a widow, and in that journey, he makes a new friend.
Yeah.
And when we are talking about Elio, what kind of journey is he going to take us as an audience?
Yeah, you're right. With Up, Carl's journey, he thought he had to go out in the world to honor adventure, and then he learned, oh, adventure is not out there. It's right where I was. I would say Elio, it's hard to say. It's similar to that. It's that you think that there's the grass is greener, right? You always think if I could just get my wish, I would solve everything. And then you find out through the storytelling, maybe not. You know, maybe things were closer to you than you thought, right? And those are some of the themes and ideas that I think we've done in ways we haven't done before with this character. You know, you take the simplest, smallest, innocent kid, and all of a sudden, that kid potentially becomes the most important person in the world. It's fun to play with that.
And my last question, Inside Out 2 has become an instant classic, such a overwhelming box office. Was there something special that you guys work behind the scenes with this movie that this is something that you want to take on future projects for Pixar?
Oh, you in the process of Inside Out 2?
Yes.
It's a really good question. The truth is, as we were making it, just of all of our films, and we did a few versions of it, and it felt, hey, it's really good, but it's not making us cry, and we should go further. We should go further than we think. I think that's a lesson we may have learned, because when we did that, when we sat down and Pete Docter came in, and he was so great as he thought up the first one, as an executive producer with me on this one, he said, I think we need to go further. I think we need to push it even further. And I think the lesson was, you can't go too far, or you almost should go too far before you figure out where the movie needs to be. Do you know what I mean? Like that, when we really pushed on it, and when we started to tear up at some of those pitches, again, we thought, okay, now that's what should be on the screen.
Oh my God, I can totally visualize what you're saying, because that's the feeling that I got when I was watching Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Especially because I have always dealt with anxiety since I was a teen.
Yeah.
So like I could see where you guys were going and how deep you guys were going. That was so beautiful.
I'll tell you this, you know, we were in the room, in the story room, we were trying to figure out anxiety in the third act, and Pete Docter said, and I'll never forget this, he said, what if Joy, who always knows what to do, what if she didn't know what to do? And we all, as I'm a parent of, you know, 2 girls, 3 kids, and we all thought that's it. Like, not knowing what to do is what unlocked that film. It's a weird story, but it felt real to us.
That's that wow moment
Yeah.
when you're writing a script, right? Thank you so much,
thank
Jonas.
you.
I just loved our conversation.
I did too.
I could be here just like for hours, because it was such a huge pleasure to be with you.
So much to me. Thank you. Thank you for caring and for being here, and your great questions.
You guys are doing just such an amazing job with Pixar, and thank you so much, because your stories matter to us and they're changing lives. And what you did with Inside Out 2 like makes me like cheer, because it's just amazing.
More than you know.
Oh,
Thank you.
so much, Jonas.
Esse é o lugar mais lindo que eu já vi.
Aqui é o banheiro.
Elio.
Júnior.